That interview likely was able to land him a gig this week at the All-Star game where he's going to be working in the media. Can I ask a question before we get into his media stuff? When does he plan on playing a baseball game again?
I know. I thought the date was July 6th or July 3rd, right?
Well, it's July 15th.
Yeah.
It doesn't look close.
Milliken said no problem. Yep. First week in July. He's back.
He hasn't played a game since April 20th.
Well, he's taking swings in the dugout, Beetle. He's doing it through osmosis and meditating and just,
He's taking visual swings.
Yeah, dry
visual
swings,
swings, and supposedly they really like what they see out of him. That swing level and point of contact, it's all there for him.
Is he learning to walk again? What is this? What is he doing?
Got to put one foot in front of the other.
What?
As soon as you'll be walking out that door.
What's happening? When is he coming back? Visual swing. What's a visual swing? I'm sorry. Should I know what that is?
You're not actually making contact. You're like making the motion and whoosh, like.
Are you making the motion? Why do they call it a visual swing?
Say you got two LARPers, and they got.
Yeah. Okay.
I crown you thee. Like two weirdos running around King Richard's Fair, playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like he probably plays Dungeons and Dragons like that. Visual, not using a tool or a baton or what do you call it? A sword or a bat.
Yeah.
It's a visual motion.
The baseball version. Remember that video of Russell Wilson pregame when he was going through it, playing quarterback by himself?
I've seen it 5 times, okay? It's the dumbest thing
He's supposed to have been back for 2 weeks, and he's just now hitting a ball off of a tee.
And he's doing that, but I really want to know more about the visual swing. Is that a VR thing? Is that virtual reality? Do they let him go use Drake May's simulator down there in Foxborough?
No, you just close your eyes and you pretend.
What do they do? I'm just curious what that means. Well, here's what he's doing at the All-Star game. Pete Abraham of the Globe had the report yesterday. He'll be there to provide coverage. He's expected to co-host on the Home Run Derby broadcast on ESPN, which happens tonight. He will be on Major League Baseball's TikTok channels, along with Caitlin Maniscalco. In relation to Sebastian? Is that spelled the same way? While also appearing on MLB Network's Media Day show that is happening today, this afternoon, I guess.
Yeah. So
he's TikToking, and he's on MLB Network, and he's on ESPN tonight. He's all over the place. Fine. When are you going to play a baseball game again? That's all I would like to know. Can he give us a firm, in all this reporting he's going to be doing, can he just give us a firm timeline on when he's going to play baseball for the Red Sox again? That's all I'm asking for. People are up in arms about him going to do this without playing right now and during a rehab and all of that. I'm not bothered by it. Are you bothered by this?
I would have been bothered by it, but I'm not going to be like the old man sitting on the porch yelling at this. Because
I'll tell you what it is.
This is what it is today.
Tell you what it is. It's fully in line with who he is.
Totally.
Which is, as I've said, this guy's all about him. He's that kind of player. And that doesn't mean he can't be great or won't be great, but he's not the most team-oriented, winning type of player. He's about himself. He's about the brand.
He's different.
And there are a lot of modern athletes and young athletes that are in that mold. He's one of them. But that's why he's at the All-Star game on TikTok and ESPN and MLB Network, because he's trying to expand the Tristan Casas brand.
Yep.
Whereas I would tell him, hey, dude, you know how to expand your brand?
Hit home runs.
Be available every day and be a great player on a team that's got the arrow pointing up. Become a better.
They kind of need you.
Become a better brand.
Do they?
Through your play is what I would say.
This is him. This is red light. He's the new red light.
He's doing all the stuff that baseball wishes that Mike Trout did over the years. But Mike Trout was instead just the guy who showed up and went to work every day.
Yeah.
And didn't really engage and didn't do a great job at doing all these other things. So, again, I'm not knocking a player for doing these things. I just wish that it were more productive, more reliable, more consistent players doing these things. But the problem is those guys are actually going to Dallas to play in the game. I wish he would strive more to be playing in the game as opposed to be there as a reporter. That's all. That's all. When are you coming back and playing baseball, Tristan? Can you just tell us that? When are you going to play a game? When are you going to be ready?
What are they telling Cora? Like, if I'm the manager, I'm like, what? You find out he's going down there. Like, how does this help him? Oh, it helps his brand. Okay. Well, how does it help him get back on the field?
Listen, it's time off for these players. It's the break, so they get to use it however they want.
I get it. But not when you're hurt. Like, if you're hurt, like, you should have, and I know the NFL's different. I get it. It's a shorter season. It's 18 games, 17 games. But when you're hurt, you don't travel. Like, you stay back for treatment. You get treated. Yeah, they're different. Basketball's different. Yeah, Kyrie thing. Kyrie was hurt and he went and played an all-star game. He didn't play your team. He played in the all-star game.
Tristan Casas plays T-ball.
There he is on TikTok later tonight, playing T-ball. When is he going to play a game? That's what I would kind of like to know. I don't think that's that big of an ask. Nick in Providence on the Red Sox. Hello, Nick.
What's up, fellas? So I love Cora's comments about going forward to the division. I think that they have a chance. I think it's a little bit of a stretch, but I think they have a chance. And hats off to that entire clubhouse for actually buying in and believing and playing their asses off. There are 9 teams in the majors that have a record 10 games above 500, and the Red Sox are one of them. That's American and National League. So they're playing extremely well, and it seems that the lane has been picked. My MVP for the first half so far, I do love all 3 of the ones that you guys named, obviously, but I think Jansen deserves some mention. He's 19 for 20 in save opportunities. He has the lowest ERA in 7 years. Last night was his first 2-inning save in 7 years. I don't want or need Hendricks. Like, stick with Jansen. He's definitely a clubhouse guy. He believes in this group. All of his comments say that he believes. You need a guy like that. He's a veteran. He's playing his butt off. This is a fun team to watch.
Yeah, I would agree. Jansen has been very good. They haven't overused him, which has been a positive. I did catch his comments last week that he wants to retire a Dodger. I thought those came at a weird time.
It's always good.
That's like, well, this is kind of weird. Now, why are you going to drop that right now? And it's fine. I don't think it means anything about his opinion of the current team he's on. But oddly placed timed comments, oddly placed. But anyway, he has been good. I think he's worthy of a mention in terms of the guys who have overperformed and have performed maybe better than you expected. And Jansen was a guy who was rumored to be on the block from the offseason on. Can they trade him now? Could they trade him right now?
No.
Would you be accepting of that deal right now?
No. Would not.
Let's go to John. He's in Franklin. Hey, John.
Hey, guys. I'm glad you're talking about Casas, actually, because I swear I've wanted to call about this guy for a couple weeks. And am I crazy to think maybe they should look into trading him at the deadline and getting they could probably get a really significant piece? There's something about Casas that just bothers me. And I think, honestly, it's his frailty, the fact that he's just frail and gets hurt and he just stays out of the lineup. But Zoe, you made a good point earlier. You said, do they really need him? And my answer is, I don't know if they really need him. They've been playing obviously great without him. And this is like a young and upcoming team in the next couple of years that I think is going to start making noise with their young players. I just don't think his personality fits in with the team, and I think he's a very good player. But I just think he's the type of player that, should be playing for or that would thrive, I should say, with the Chicago White Sox or the Marlins or something. And I think he's a good piece you could get something for. What do you think?
My comment was said tongue in cheek. I was kind of making a joke. Do they really need him? But you're rolling. And I know he's a power guy. And they would love to get a power bat back. It's like an injection right into you. And he shows he can play. But there's a tool bag element to him. I don't know what it is. But even going back to the hockey, round, a hockey playoffs when you're playing and who you're rooting for and who's going to win. And, he's trying to make a funny, I guess. Just some weirdness to the guy. Not that should affect whether or not he should be able to play baseball or whether he would work here, but I don't think he's tradable. I think they look at him as like one of their core pieces moving forward.
I don't think
they're gonna try and get a deal done with this guy.
I don't think he's tradable. My concern would be that they would try to sell you on that being the addition at the deadline, right? Oh, Casas is coming back, adding a big bat to the lineup. We don't actually have to go out and invest in this team because we're bringing back pieces that have been out for a significant amount of time.
I hate that mentality. I've hated it in every sport, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, you name it. Just I don't buy it because that's a player, and we went through this with Chris Sale. Well, Chris Sale's coming back. No, you had him. He was on your roster at the beginning of the year. That's not fair. It's not fair to term it that way.
Tristan Casas, where are you?
I would not trade him at the deadline. Let's not be silly.
Yeah.
We're not trading Tristan Casas this year. But in general, I'm not opposed to trading a young player who's got huge upside and is projected to be an excellent type of player. No, I'm not against that.
Is he your baseball version of DeBrusque?
What's the return? No, he's better than DeBrusque. Yeah. What's the return? That's what you always ask. You shouldn't be afraid to trade just about anybody in this sport, is what I've come to learn. You should be open to the idea of moving anybody if the return is good enough.
What about a starter and a right-hand bat?
Moving them?
Moving him for a starter and a right-hand bat.
Oh, well, that would be a different... Well, again, what's the return?
Right, that's what I'm trying
I don't
to
think
say.
you're going to get a great return right now. The guy is hurt.
Right.
He would have to get back and play, and it doesn't feel like he's close. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand here. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.